Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you. Nice to be here. Uh, the first time that I meet all of you. Sorry for not being able to be in previous sessions, but Monday is not the best day for me. So I'm really happy to be sharing with you this time. So please, if you have any questions in any time, or if you need a clarification on whatever I'm going to mention today, please feel free to interrupt anytime. I hope that you had the chance to read the papers. I put four papers, two which were very important for you to read to understand what we are going to talk today. The other two are optionals, but I encourage you to read it and to get a little bit more understanding of the matter that we are going to discuss today. So, as Franco said, my name is Luis Rios. I am a biologist and also a professional photographer. I live in Guatemala and I teach at Universidad del Valle in biology and other faculties. And I've been working a lot with ecology and ecosystems for a very long time. So I will try to share as much as I can about this. So I will start by 1 second. I have to share first my screen. So just tell me if everybody can see it.
Perfect, Luis.
Okay, excellent. So the topic that I was requested to talk to you today is about strategies for the conservation of ecosystems and biodiversity. This topic is very open. There is a lot of strategies and written and unwritten strategies that we can use for the conservation of ecosystem and biodiversity. And the most important of this is to have really an open mind of what we can learn about the natural environment, also how the cultural heritage of how they manage the surroundings, the ecosystems, the biodiversity, the use of biodiversity, and as well as, of course, our knowledge based on science. So one of the key concepts of biodiversity is not a topic that you can describe only by one word. Yes, biodiversity is a complex concept which is which includes at least three or four concepts by itself, because biodiversity, you really have to understand that biodiversity is not only one animal, one species, one plant, one microorganism, one gene. Is a mix of everything. And why is so important to have biodiversity? Because based on this genetic, species, ecosystem, and functional diversity is how our natural world function. And based on that, how the natural environment function, it provides us of all the good and services that we need to survive. We cannot talk about tourism if we or ecotourism if we don't have the proper ecosystems or the proper species to take the people to see those birds, those animals, and everything. We cannot improve the agricultural sector if we don't value the genetic diversity of the species, and also the functionality of all the biodiversity concept brings about the good and services provided for our uh, life. So in this, I know that as I understand, some of you are already PhD, so maybe this slide will be a little bit basic if you want. But I like it to put it in these ways because functional diversity is something that not so many people think about it, and it's really important. It's all how the biochemistry cycles and how all the energy cycle around the ecosystem. The ecological diversity is what it brings us to different parts, like we were discussing early in the morning about how dark is in the north, how the the ecosystem change between all of these seasons and everything, how the equator have more energy, more light, more productivity, and that brings us to species diversity. Is basically the number of species that are present in different communities. And the other part is the genetic diversity, which give us the idea of what went through to have the species in the way that we have today, how this material give the specialization or the adaptation process to live in different environments. So let's talk about ecosystem services. This is one of the most important things that we have. Uh, Ecosystem services is what allow us to have ecotourism. Is that what allows to have clear water to drink or clean air to breathe? It's also regulate the climate. That is one of the problems with climate change. If we put on the topic of deforestation, for example, we have the problem that we are not capturing enough carbon dioxide. Also, they give support. They give support in the way that diminish the vulnerability of certain areas. It gives the support for the ecosystems to continue working, providing all these benefits, all these services. And of course, there is the cultural part. As cultures arise, especially in all the regions, the ecosystems became a central part of the cultural of the cultures of every region. There is connections to the land. There is connections to every part of the ecosystem that is around these these people. So that is something that we have always to take into consideration to understand how we can manage the ecosystem, how we can protect the ecosystems, how we can envision the proper use of the ecosystem for the benefit of these people without changing or affecting the services that they provide, the provision, regulation, support, and of course the cultural, because that is a big part of everything. So for the first activity that I prepare for you, I would like to scan this QR code. It gives you to Mentimeter. It's nothing like that. But I want you to think about which of these ecosystem services has the most impact on your daily life. Why is this question important before you start working on that? It's because sometimes we don't consider these services anymore because we are going to the supermarket to buy, for example, milk, and for some people, they believe that the milk comes from the shelves in the supermarket, as well as the vegetables. You go to the market and you see the vegetables there, and people doesn't know or don't see it or don't make the connection that from where it comes. So I want you to really scan this. I will. It's a cloud word that it will take you. Please write in one word which of these ecosystem services has the most impact on your daily life. Okay? If everybody scan the QR code, I will pass to show the how is it going.
Everybody able to enter the Menti? Let us know in the chat if you have issues. That looks good.
Yeah, it looks good. I think everybody. That is a good example, Marco, that you are right. Okay, I see the third. There is one more. So, as you can see, water is the most important for you, but water is only one of all of them, because we need food, we need the coffee, of course, we need to maintain the productivity. One of the best, one of the most important thing, the bees as pollinators. Those are things that most of the people around us, they don't really take into considerations. They don't see those things. And those are one of the challenges that we are going to face when we start to working in ecosystem conservation, because people said, for what? What doesn't matter? What is important? I need things today, but they don't think about the future. They don't think about how important is to have pollinators, how important is to have water availability for all the uses that we have: agricultural, drinking, for our businesses, for our health, and of course the cultural part. So this is really important for all of you to keep in consideration when we are going to be working in Ibagué, because it's not that we are going to teach them, it's we need to capitalize, to discuss with them, to hear what they have to say and how they recognize their surroundings in order for us to propose the best strategies to promote ecosystem conservation and biodiversity. Okay. Let's continue with the presentation. Any questions, please? Don't leave me here alone. I feel alone here.
Just
Any
open
comments?
the mic and say something. You can do it in Spanish, English, or whatever language you want to
Yeah, don't
express
worry.
yourself.
Except Norwegian, but then Spanish, English, it's
No,
okay.
Luis, we have the translation.
Okay.
Arun.
Well, it's very hard with the translation if it's Spanish, but Norwegian is okay for me.
Any comments?
No, I think, Luis, something that I personally in Bogota experienced was when the government put us on a limited water on a monthly base. So we had different areas, no water. And then you realize that it's not normal to just expect always water from the tap. And we had the water restriction because the water supply was because of the changing in climate, and the management of the government on the water part was not really good. So they had to do this to make sure that we had water for a longer term. But then you realize how essential it is in your life if you don't have it.
Exactly. And that is the most important thing that we have to discuss when we start thinking about conservation strategies. Because the challenge is most of the people doesn't realize how important is water, is the food in the shelves until they don't have it. And in order to have that, you need to have a clear understanding how all of these things, how the water reach my house in the tap, how the vegetables reach the market where I am going to buy it. So I've been exposed when I ask normal people, especially the ones that live in the cities, that I ask, hey, where the water comes from? They said, from the tap. and and the milk, from the supermarket. So we already separate our being for the linkage that we have with the ecosystems. And that's the key part when we start thinking about the strategies for ecosystem conservation and biodiversity. Okay, please feel free to participate in any time, interrupt in Spanish or whatever you need. Okay,
Hola,
let's
buen día.
Sí, sí.
Yo creo que el agua es muy importante y siempre me van a ver hablando aplicado a los lugares, a Ibagué. Entonces, a Ibagué voy con Onso. En Ibagué tenemos la reserva del Alto Combeima, que es donde se capta, digamos que las fuentes de captación de agua para el acueducto municipal, digamos, es la más gran fuente. Somos como alrededor de 600.000 habitantes, pero alrededor de esos, unos 350.000 más o menos en cifras, y si hay gente de Ibagué me corrigen son los que se abastecen del río, del IVAL, digamos, del acueducto municipal. Pero hay 32 subsidiarios o comunitarios y también periurbanos. Entonces, el tema del agua en Ibagué es muy importante. Y hay áreas de conservación, más adelante les doy algunas cifras. Sin embargo, uno de los temas principales, como lo mencionabas, tiene que ver con el uso eficiente del agua, porque tendemos a desperdiciar un líquido muy preciado, un recurso muy preciado en términos de recurso, pues porque hay mucho. Entonces, digamos que es una constante batalla por el agua. Y sobre todo porque como la reserva del Alto Combeima está el cañón del Combeima y es turístico, entonces alrededor del turismo y el agua, pues allí hay unas que digamos, incluso unos riesgos también de deslizamientos y demás que más adelante lo vamos a ver porque es muy importante este tema de diversidad y turismo también relacionarlo con temas de gestión del riesgo. Es un poco mi participación inicial. Gracias.
Gracias, Marco. Y como me hablaste en español, te contesto en español. Eh, con el perdón de los demás. Eh, no, toda la razón, Marco. Y este es un tema recurrente podríamos decir, toda la región tropical, la disponibilidad del agua. El tema es, Marco, el valor. Tú lo has dicho, es un recurso valiosísimo, pero también nos enfrentamos con otros obstáculos. La visión de las personas sobre los recursos. Es decir, sabemos que desde el seno de Naciones Unidas tenemos el derecho universal al acceso al agua. Ahora, ese derecho universal te dice acceso, pero luego te confrontas de que el manejo del agua, la purificación del agua, la distribución del agua, tiene un costo. ¿Quién asume ese costo? Entonces, muchas veces el factor es que la gente o las personas confunden ese derecho al acceso al agua con que sea gratis para todo el mundo y no toman en cuenta el costo de mantener los acuíferos, de mantener las áreas de recarga hídrica, de mantener las áreas de captación hídrica en las condiciones apropiadas. Y eso tiene un costo que alguien lo tiene que asumir. Entonces ahí es donde comienza mucho. How do you
Luis,
don't understand?
no, because
Marco,
yeah, so you need to keep speaking English. So
No,
the
I don't
translation,
speak Spanish.
no.
sorry, Auden. Sorry, Marco, it's not a problem if
Everybody,
I
if it's
change.
of course.
Okay,
No,
Auden,
so,
sorry.
so Luis said for the translation option in Zoom, you need to put it in English and then keep
Okay,
English speaking so that Adun can translate later or Marco can translate it in Spanish.
okay, let me see.
But
Okay,
just
I will keep speaking in English.
please. Thank you. Thank you, Adun.
Sorry,
Can you
Auden,
give us
sorry,
a
sorry.
short summary, Luis?
So what Marco was saying is he was explaining the the case of water in the region of Icosono and Ibagué. And what I was trying to explain to him is that water is the most important thing that we have for life. But the problem is that people, based on the human right for having access to water, they believe that based on that, water should be free for everybody. And they don't take into considerations the cost of maintaining the recharge area, the distribution, even the purification process. And when you try to charge a little bit of money on that, they said, how I can pay for that? That is a God's gift for everybody. It's supposed to be free for everybody. And that's the challenges started when you start thinking about conservation. And I will go later on to discuss other issues about conservation, because conservation also have a misunderstanding, but I will talk that later on. Okay, let's continue. So, what are the top threats of ecosystem and biodiversity? We can talk about deforestation. We can talk about climate change, invasive species, contamination, and overexploitation. All of these 5 threats are considered worldwide one of the top threats for ecosystems and biodiversity. Which part we have to think about it? If we are trying to start a process of, let's say, ecotourism, how we will deal with these threats? How we'll avoid contamination? How we will avoid overexploitation? Of course, there are strategies for each of one of these threats, but it's something, well, that we should consider every time that we talk about conservation strategies of ecosystems and biodiversities. Okay, let's go to the second activity that I prepared for you. I prepare a mental map for you. I will explain, and then I will send you the link if you cannot read it in your presentation. What I want you to think about is, in your local area, what do you think is the most important threat that you have observed? And we will make a mental map. Let's see if it works. Sorry, I will send you the link. 1 second, please, 1 second. I send you in the chat the link.
In the Zoom
And
chat.
Zoom chat, yes, Zoom chat.
And then we go to Miro. Ooh, Luis. Continue.
So there, I put amenazas, threats. See, yes, and then you can write what you think is the most important threat that you can see in your surroundings.
Everybody able to join the Miro board? Maria Fernanda said no. Amna, you're able to join? Adun is there, Katrina, Shasti is there, Simon, Angelica, Amna. Okay, Simon is there. Mafa, can I help you with something? No?
No, thank you. I already got there. Thanks.
Okay, good.
Mafer, please.
Hola, Luis.
Hola.
Hannah, are you and Abby, are you able to join? Let me see who's not there. Katrine is there. Juan Camilo, are you in the Miro board?
Yes, Branko.
Yes? Okay, good. Juan Camilo is there. Mafe is there. Hannah, are you able to join?
Not yet.
Not yet. Oh,
No, because I
Ronald?
have to create an account and doing.
But I think you can join just with your Gmail.
Um,
No?
no,
No,
Ronald, are you in there? Senor Ronald? Simon is in the house. Lillian, are you able to join?
Yes, I'm in, but I can't write. I'm
You
trying to, but
Don't delete anything. No, I'm joking. But Lillian, is it working now? Because I think it's
no, it's because I'm from the cell phone. I just let me 1 minute. I'm trying to check.
okay. Okay, good. Ruth, are you there?
yes, she's inside.
Ah, yeah, Ruth is there.
Yes. Thank you.
Welcome, Ruth. Good to see you. Claire, are you able to join?
Hi, I'm gonna try. I just got into the office. But go ahead. This is for the students. I'm
Okay,
just learning
okay.
from Luis.
Welcome
I'm
to
learning from
join.
Luis.
Welcome
Thank
to
you.
join.
Welcome to the class, Claire.
Gracias, Luis. Buenísimo.
You cannot fall asleep in this class. It's an active class. It's good. Ronald, are you there?
No, I don't see him.
No, I think he may be bad connection. I don't know.
Maybe
Marco is
he's in the
there.
cell phone.
Ah, okay. Hannah is there. Okay, good. Okay.
Wow, very interesting things that you are. Camila, what is the buchon?
I don't know how to translate it in English.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
But
It's
it's like
Pollution?
a plant that grows over the water in the ecosystem that I work on is in wetlands in Cali.
uh-huh.
It's called Charco Azul and Espondaje. And in that wetlands, there's a plant that the municipality introduced in the wetlands in order to clear the water, but there's like a lot of organic waste or
Okay.
loads in the water, so the plant is in overpollution. So it
Mhm.
covers all the ecosystem, it covers all the water and causes eutrophication. And the
Okay.
and the plant is called buchon de agua, but
Buchon,
I don't know how to call it in.
It's okay. Just I was curious about the buchon.
Oh, okay. Yes, yes.
Thank you, Camila. Thank you. Thank you. So we have agriculture, extractive tourism, deforestation, urban growth, poor management, mining, invasion to protected areas, invasive species, climate change, industrial waste, air pollution, okay. I will send you this diagram to all of you after the class. But as you can see, everywhere are threats. Everywhere. Are a little bit different in some areas. For example, what I know about Ibagué is we don't have so much problems with the lack of water or uh, contamination of industrial waste or problems with air quality, whereas in Norway we have those threats. So in every part of the world we will face with threats for ecosystems, and each of the ecosystems, even though are different, the threats operates in the same way, in the same channels. They degrade ecosystems. They stop the goods and services provided by the ecosystems, and they decrease the biodiversity. And the thing is that people said, why are you worried about this flower or this insect or this bird and everything? It's not that we are worried about that. What we are worried about is the connections that those animals, as indicators, are telling us that something wrong is happening on those ecosystems. Therefore, we have to think and to take that into consideration, that is not a fight for protecting one bird, one insect, one plant, one flower. It's a process that how we can use our ecosystems to provide everything what we need, but without degrading it or affecting the provision of those benefits, those services, and everything that we really need to develop, to grow as human beings. So that is interesting about what you wrote and how you check the threats. Any questions? Any comments?
Camila, any thoughts?
No.
What do you think about the activity? Avi, how can you participate by being in the car?
Driving the car.
Driving the car. I as Franco said, it's amazing how you can do everything.
But she's a
I
woman.
actually couldn't participate from the car. I'm so sorry. I did sign up, and I got on the board and I could see it, but I couldn't like do anything because I'm on my phone. But I do have like, wait, I do have like my laptop here, so I am like sat following it. But my laptop is is not obviously connected to the internet right now. So,
But you're
so
not
yeah.
driving, no?
I'm not driving now.
Oh.
I'm a
Okay.
passenger. Okay.
I was worried that you were driving, talking, and participating, and said, "Wow, what is Avi doing there?"
Yeah, no, I'm not that good, unfortunately.
You are.
Okay.
Okay, let's continue. Otherwise, I will it will get bored. Where we are. Sorry, I closed the presentation. Okay, so let's go to strategies. Let's talk about strategies, the conservation strategies. As most of you should know, there are two main conservation strategies. The in situ strategies, which are made on the area that we want to protect, like protected areas, biological corridors, and also are the ex situ strategies. That is when you take out things from the ecosystems to move it to another place, like seed banks or ethical zoos. And there are some other complementary strategies, like policies. As Franco was mentioned before, when there are policies for the management of water, that is a conservation strategy. When we have incentives, is when you paid for the services of the ecosystems. Education is another complementary strategy for conservation, because through education, we can empower people and give them all the correct knowledge or the expert knowledge and feedback about what we need to start preserving and have conservation strategies that work for everybody. And of course, the technology, how we put the technology to work for us, not we work for the technology. So let's talk a little bit about in situ conservation. As you may know already, in the area that we are going to work, there is a lot of protected areas. There is some very important areas already was mentioned today in the part in the some parts there that we have a lot of water and everything. So national parks are one of the most famous and common in situ conservation. But also we cannot forget about community reserves. It's when the communities take into their own hands the management of the areas. And for what purpose? It's not only for ecotourism, it's also for ecological restoration. In order to have all these benefits of water, to diminish the vulnerabilities that we might have based on climate change, of even the natural surroundings, slopes, and everything, the in situ conservation goes beyond the species that are in those areas. They are working to preserve and to manage the surroundings for the ecosystems, not only to restore the ecosystems, but also to keep working, to give us all the benefits, all the good things that we need for our life. The ex situ conservation is, as I mentioned, when you take things out from the ecosystems. The most famous is the picture that I put here. the famous seed bank of the world, botanical gardens, for example, ethical zoos. And what I talk about ethical zoos is those zoos that are really thought more on the animals rather than the public. All of this, especially if you have a program to reintroduction of the species, those are ex situ conservation strategies. And the complementary tools, the public policies and governance, something that we are going to discuss a lot during the field trip, how the governance, central governance, municipality governance, community governance is working for us in order to promote conservation. The payment for environmental services, how we can make contracts, for example, in a watershed, that people from the lower part of the watershed can recognize the work and the investments of the people that live on top of the watershed. So they have to be some kind of contracts. The education and social participation is not only about educating, it's how we promote the participation of the people, but in an active way, not in a way that, yes, okay, I recognize this, and that's it. It's how they put their hands together to work for the conservation, to preserve the surroundings, to preserve, as I like to mention, the goose of the golden eggs, which is the environment, which is the ecosystems, which is the biodiversity, and how we can use the technological innovation to have a clear understanding of what we have, how we can manage in better ways, and how we can be earlier on degradation processes or forest fires and attend it and avoid those problems on time and not after the catastrophe and the damage has been done. So now I will not take you anywhere. I just want you to have this discussion activity. I will send you to small groups, and I want you to discuss which approach is most effective and why, based on in situ and ex situ conservation. Then I will give you like 10-15 minutes in the working groups, and then when you come back to the plenary, I would like to hear what your ideas, and please, your ideas should be for and against each modality. If you think in situ is the best, why is the best, but think about why is not the best. I don't know if you understand me. Questions before I send you to the groups.
Okay. One practical thing, I opened the four rooms. So according to your team, you can join the room. So team 1, go to Sala 1, 2, 3, 4. And is there any question before we leave the main room to Luis regarding the question that you need to discuss? It's clear. So Luis, what is the main question that can you repeat?
Okay, yes, 1 second. The main question is in situ or ex situ conservation more effective? So the idea is that you discuss if in situ or ex situ could be more effective in your areas or in your objectives. But also think about an idea of why is the best, but also try to put on the floor why is not the best. 1 for and 1 against each modality, okay?
Okay. Can you put the slide back on there?
Yes, sir. 1 second.
And then everybody, please join your group in Sala 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that possible? Are you guys able to join the room, Camila?
I don't know how to do it. Sorry. I'm looking for the group of like the sign of
so
the breakout room, but
yeah,
I didn't
breakout
find
room, and
it.
then you choose your team number. And you click on that, and then you leave the main room. Is that working?
Yes, I have it. I don't know
Okay.
if it worked, but I'm going to join
Click
right
on
now.
it, and then we see you on the other side. Ruth, is it working for you? Emna? Marco? Marco, no? Marco, you are in group 4, right? So you need to select the salas para grupos, and then you select the group 4. See? Ronald is not there, I think. Marco, you need help? No? I can move you to the, I think, assignar 4.
Yes, you can send it.
Yeah. Marco,
Okay.
yeah? Okay, there we go. No? Marco, please. Okay. Marco is okay. Ruth, you need help?
Yes.
You are in group 1, right? Let me move you to group 1.
Yes.
Yes, there you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Ronald is in group 4, so let's move him to group 4. There we go. Signora Claire.
May I suggest you stop your recording or pause it?
Yeah, I can pause it for. There we go. Thank you, Claire.
Okay, group 1. Share with us what you discuss. Don't be shy.
Okay, we are group 1, and we are discussing that probably in our region. We're from Colombia and Guatemala. Are better in situ strategies because probably have a more impactful outcomes and less cost, and we have to complement these strategies with strong policies and education for change the people mind and generate awareness.
Perfect. Thank you, Hannah. Group 2.
Group 2.
I'm gonna share for a second our presentations.
Wow,
Talking
amazing.
about, I think in the group we agree about the in situ is the best because we can preserve the process in the in situ conservation. So we can have more species because we have the process over there. But we talk about other agreements about ex situ because with ex situ we can protect critical endangered species, and this process can give us a backup about species or other process. So that's a good thing about ex situ conservation. And something against in situ is because we require larger areas, and it's difficult to control environmental conditions. And for ex situ, and I think the worst part is we don't preserve. We do not preserve the process, so that's not a good thing about ex situ.
Wow.
That's
Very
it.
interesting. Thank you very much, Katarina.
Group 3.
Group 3.
Angelica. Group 3, don't be shy.
we discussed about the strategies in situ are best because you can use more tools inside, but ex situ is good too, but you need more resources for use them. But we think that if you use a in situ strategy, it must be support with complementary tools like education and social participation, because if you have a good strategy in situ and the community support you, you have a good results and is useful for the community and the things that you want to do, the goals that you want to project for this strategy.
Excellent. Thank you, Angelica. And group 4?
Juan Camilo.
We're talking with Juan Camilo and Marco. Then we will prefer in situ conservation, but we recognize that there are benefits for both in situ and ex situ conservation practices. So with in situ, we said that it's better for ecosystem conservation and not only for and species conservation. And ex situ conservation, it's really good when we need to protect one species specifically. And Marco shared with us a lot of the Ibagué practices where they have these seed banks where they're sharing with the community the seeds so that they don't have only one bank in the reserve because they're working with a reserve and they're doing in situ and ex situ conservation in this reserve. So it was a good example for us. So yeah, we said it was better in situ, but both have benefits. And I don't know if the group wants to share something else, but that was basically the ideas we shared.
Thank you, Mafer. Excellent. Thank you, group.
Luis.
Yes.
Can I say something?
Yes.
With the in situ and ex situ, I think it's maybe a good comparison with adoption. You can take a child out Latin America and move it to Europe, but that doesn't solve the problem in the country, right? And I think currently in retrospective, a lot of people think, okay, maybe it's better that, for example, Colombians adopt Colombian children that needs a family instead of moving them to another country. And I think with in situ and ex situ, you have the same dynamic. You can take, for example, a plant or seeds or in a protected area in a botanic garden or in an ethical zoo, but that doesn't solve the issue. Maybe it protects for a short term and for example, perceived and help you to grow, but Arun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we also discussed that ex situ could be like a long-term solution in some cases. If you can't do in situ now, if you have full ex situ with all the genes, maybe in like 100 years or whatever, we can just recreate everything on a new planet. But as we said, the preferred way should be in situ, and that's in the short and medium term also better.
Thank you. Thank you. The other thing, Luis, I'm not sure if you in your closing notes, but I think there is a tension between the economics. So for example, I lived for 10 years in Indonesia, and you saw during COVID, the tourism died in Bali. And I thought personally it was good because it ruined the nature. It really changed the culture on the island. And I think it gives the people of Indonesia in Bali a reflection, hey, do we really want to sell our soul to money? Or do we prefer to have our culture and our nice nature? And I think this tension is not only here in Latin America. I heard also in Norway, you have tension to preserve places with wood and foresting because of money, and you make different decisions. So I think this is another element.
Yeah, I mean, everything have the pros and cons, and either way, what we really have to put on consideration is the importance of having those ecosystem services keep working for us. Ex situ is strategy, but you have to take into consideration how much it costs. that will not, as all of the groups mentioned, that will not solve the problem in the place where they come from. But if you cannot solve those problems because there is a conflict, because there is some political issues, or there is the tip point of degradation that already disappear, the forest, for example, the only remain that you will have is the ex situ conservation. Okay, 5 minutes more. I see the message. So let's continue and finish it and finish the presentation. Otherwise, Ranko will pull my hair. Anyway, when we will meet in person in Colombia, we can continue discussing these interesting things. So one of the things that you have to do, and I will finish with this because for me this is most important, is how you prioritize the prioritization criteria that you will have. Either you choose in situ, ex situ, or other strategies, you have to take into consideration the ecological value. You have to take into consideration the social and cultural value of the strategy that you will choose to implement. You cannot leave aside the economic and the political value of having that strategy in place. And if we put it on a species, you have to take into consideration the risk extinction. So one way to do it is like I put it here. What to do? You have to do what is urgent and is the most important. And you have to decide it based on what you know about the situation in the place that you are going to work. If it's not really urgent, but it's important, you should plan ahead. You should make plans how to deal with this issue in the future. If you decide that it's not important, but somehow it's urgent, but you don't have the capacity to do it, look forward to someone else. Delegate the decision making. And if it's not urgent and it's not important, you don't have to think about that strategy. It means that it doesn't work for your situation. Forget about it. Don't waste time, money on trying to make something that will not be addressing any urgent things and is not important for the reality of your area. So, questions? No questions? Okay. Thank you very much for your attention. I am just in the 5 minutes schedule that Ranko kindly offered me. So I hope that you really enjoyed my class. I really that it gives you things, as I mentioned in the beginning, have an open mind for this. Think about what we discussed. Most of the decisions that you will make at the end is going to be based on what you know about your territory, what you need. Odun, Odun is clapping. Thank you, Odun.
Thank you, Luis, for sharing this very interesting topic, the combination between nature and governance and making right decisions on the future for more sustainability. I think this is really a hot topic also for our field trip. Students, before we leave, please help me out to fill out the survey, the short survey that I put a link in the comments. You can write in Spanish, in English, but we'd like to have some feedback on the course. We are halfway. Next week, we will have Bibiana talking with us about certain topics in sustainability. I will inform you when all the reading and assignments are ready for you. And if you have any questions regarding your literature review, please go to your mentors, Luis, Bibiana, Merlin, or Simon. Wish you a beautiful day. Don't forget to do the survey and see you in next week.
Nice to meet you all.
Thank you so
Hope you enjoyed my class.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
It was a great
Bye-bye.
class.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Mañana.
Thank you,
Okay,
Luis.
Ranko. Thank you very much, Ranko.
Please, if you can share your PowerPoint.
Yes, the PowerPoint is already shared.
Oh, in the Google Classroom.
Of course, sir.
Oh, you're amazing.
I will share the Mentimeter and I will share the diagram that they said. That's
Perfect, perfect. It was really nice and very interactive. Thank you so much.
a pleasure. A pleasure. I was a little
Yeah.
bit nervous because too many things happening at the same time, but I think with your help, worked very well. Thank you, Ranko.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
No, always, always. See you on Friday. for
See
the
you on Friday.
unit group.
No, yes, on Friday. Yeah.
See.
See you. Bye.
Ciao.